Hey, we're in game, guys. We made it. Is this production gonna start off without a hitch? In the top right corner, Acetyl Protoss up first for Half Baked. Oh my god, what have I done? Okay, I flubbed it. I jinxed it. In the top right, Acetyl Protoss for the Blades of Ren. It's Darkblade. It's in the bottom left as the Dark Blue Protoss for Half Baked from Born Gosu. It's Kandrew. It's like Andrew, but Kandrew, you know. Darkblade throwing down a gateway at the top of the ramp. Kandrew doing the same. So a PvP to kick things off today. You know, as captain for the Blades, I wasn't quite expecting this. I was expecting maybe a Terran go out on Eternal Empire first from Half Baked. So we'll see how Darkblade does. Blades of Ren, of course, entering round 2 here in the first week. We did have a walkover last week, so if you're following our run through the tournament, you didn't miss a thing. It was just a walkover against Legion, who unfortunately were eliminated in the last group stage. About half the teams were eliminated in the first group stage, 12 teams remaining in round 2. 6 of these 12 teams will be eliminated over the next 5 weeks, while the remainder move on to the playoffs. Kandrew, going for a proxy robo. The OP'est of OP builds in Protoss v Protoss, which, okay, so hear me out here. A lot of Protoss have been saying Robo broken in PvP. Robo broken. Please fix Robo. And they're getting their shield battery buff, which is totally going to affect Protoss versus Zerg way more than it does Protoss versus Protoss. But that means 50% of all Protoss aren't doing the proxy robo. If it's so good, why aren't both players proxy roboing every game? You know what I mean? Just do it, if it's that good. Couple of depths gonna open up here for Kandrew. Darkblade smells a proxy. He did not scout his opponent's base though, so he doesn't know how many pylons were in the main. And he will scout this out, but the Immortal's gonna be out well before. Oh my god. Bro. Okay. Kandrew pushing forward. Some of the Stalker shots eaten up by that Guardian Shell. One Stalker goes down, but the proxy has been found. I don't think that was affected by Locklock's statement at all. These Stalkers were already shift clipped. And the Prism is shut down. We're gonna follow these guys. While I type to Locklock. Okay, alright. So, Kandrew pushing in here. He's taken out the shields on the second Nexus. Darkblade might actually just let this Nexus fall. Kandrew getting his own second Nexus up. Prism. Finally out for Kandrew. He is going to pick up and head into the main of Darkblade. Darkblade has plenty of tools to deal with this, as long as he reacts well. Oh, he pulled out of position there a little bit, actually. He's going to lose a couple probes. Andrew, happy with the damage he got, is going to pull back out of the main. Darkblade thinking about dropping a second Nexus again. Kandrew up 5 workers and 8 army supply. This is looking very good for the half-baked player, I think. Disruptor started up for Kandrew. Lowest prism speed. Darkblade, I don't know how he's gonna tunnel his way back into this game. He's going for charge. But again, he doesn't have advantages in any arenas right now. He's still behind in army supply. His opponent has static defense. He doesn't have an upgrade lead. At least until this charge hits. I guess he's gonna depower this again, but I mean, he's down in base, he's down in workers. And he just can't break this with the units he has. Zealot streaming out here for Darkblade. Charge lots take out a Centauri to start off with. These shield batteries are just absorbing limitless damage, though. Actually, Kendrew's own Disruptor shot dealt most of the damage in that engagement to his army. GG is going to be in the top left corner of Nightshade as the Orange Terran from the Drunken Outlaws, representing Half-Baked. It's Lock. In the bottom right as the Purple Toss, representing the Blades of Ren. It's Kira. The Blades, with 4 victories and 1 loss so far in the season. That loss going up against T-Sop. But it was a close loss. It was a 4-3 in favor of T-Sop. Half-Baked with the first point on the board. Kira pretending to go for a cannon rush. He did open Gateway back at home. And he is known for cannon rush. Wait. Lock's playing Terran. Oh, you know what? I got inside my own head. I don't know why. I always confuse Lock with Magneth for no reason whatsoever. There's no reason for it, but I do it. Every time. Every time I cast him, Lock's his own discrete person. But I do it anyway. Anyway. Lock sending out an SCV Scout. going to be a second base from both players. As we head towards the late early game, it's going to be a Marine opener after Reaper for Lock. First Adept is out for Kira. Not in position to kill the Reaper, but luckily, this is a very domesticated Reaper. He's not going to go for any probe kills. He dropped a grenade there, fired a couple warning shots, and backed off. Lock finishes up his CC. He's not going to face any kind of delay or anything like that. He might lose this Marine. It's entirely possible. He might lose the Mule too if he doesn't... Yeah, he's going to lose the Mule. This is huge. Lock's pulling the Reaper back home instead of going on the attack. Oh my god. And Kira gets in the main. He canceled the Shade though. This match is subverting my expectations all over the place. He gets the kill on the Reaper! This is like... I don't even know how to call this. Both players are being absolute madmen in different ways. Lock pushing a Marine forward. He will lose that Marine if Kira decides to turn around, but Kira pulls the Adept back home. Kira's gonna get out an Immortal, get out a Stalker. Another Gateway as well. Lock has enough Marines to defend at home now. It looks like he's going for a Cloak Banshee harass, as well as a tank. More warp gates opening up, powering up their Kaidaran crystals. I don't think Lock's going to go for a 2-base push since he invested in the Banshee harass. The second Banshee, almost done with production, is sure to join the first in being annoying and pinning down the Protoss. Kira is out on the map. He did just spend his warp in. I was going to say he could warp in some Stalkers, okay, but he didn't do a full warp in, so he's going to be able to defend at home. This is kind of painfully slow to watch, but it did deter the Banshee from going in and causing further damage. 5 probes in total go down, a lot of the Marines dying. The tank's still secure in the back though, but they're not targeting the Immortal, they're not targeting the Stalker, they're targeting the Adepts, and that's the target that Kira would have liked them to pick. Both tanks go down. It's just a single Marine in that bunker and a Banshee in the air, but it's enough for Lock to hold. You're gonna go home. He saved a couple of his own units. The Banshee gets picked up on the other side of the map without any more probe kills. Lock goes for a 3rd base. Kira getting out a Twilight Council, getting out more Stalkers, getting out an Observer. Kira sending out a Prism. He's not sending out his ground forces though. He did drop a 3rd. His Banshee cloaked in the defense, so it's a little bit low on energy here at 37. Some Stalkers here to intercept in the mineral line, and without cloak, this Banshee would get picked off. Okay, it's running out of energy anyway. Down it goes.
Game
Lock asking for a pause. Lock's infamous internet. Oops.
Game resumed.
Have this nice countdown going and everything, and then I hit the wrong key. Oh no. Classic Lock game. Poor guy. I feel for him, I do. Disconnecting from StarCraft is like one of the worst experiences in gaming. Top left corner of Simulacrum as the orange Zerg. For the Blades of Ren, he's GT Kong. In the bottom right as the teal Zerg. Or half-baked. The leader of Born Gosu, Sasuke. Alright, so we took the walkover. Score is 1-1. Half-Baked winning the first game over Darkblade. The Blades taking the walkover against Lock. So this is the final game of the Pro League section. Both players opening pool first. Sasuke is a very prolific ladder player. I've played him many times on ladder. Even before I was in Risen. Kung, one of the best CVC players in Risen. Looking to make a statement. He recently hit M3 a few weeks ago. About 4 weeks ago, in fact. A month, one could say. Both players are going for the hatch after pool. So, very similar openings here. Sasuke gonna have his hatch just maybe 7 seconds earlier. It's not gonna matter too much. It's like half a larva. Here comes the Ling Flood from Sasuke. Defensive Lings from GT Kong. He's gonna have more than enough to defend here. Queen is going to push the Overlord away. Sasuke gets a defense together. It's going to be close. Sasuke, I think, has a little bit too many Overlords. Spine's going to reroute, but it's not going to be in time to save this Queen. Queen gets picked off. Some Banelings are here from Kung. They shouldn't be able to get any connections. Sasuke goes for a defensive Bane Nest. Oh, that block on the Queen is just so good from Sasuke, utilizing the edge of the ramp. Two Banelings morphing in at the front for Kong. Okay, one of them gets a connection with two Lings. It's not an ideal Baneling trade. That's a much better connection for Kong, and I think It was a huge mistake here from Sasuke to go for the spines and to go for the +1 instead of speed. He could have had speed already, even though he, like, I don't know why he had to delay it so much. Now the drones are falling. Kong overwhelms the Lings. Baneling morphing in for Sasuke. Baneling crashes. For Kung, that was a decent connection, but this is just so dicey for Sasuke. He cancelled +1. He had +1 building for so long. Why did he cancel +1? He just wanted that extra bit of money to get drones, I guess, but it's 5 drones to 18. Even if every unit dies to Banelings here for Kung, he still wins this game, like 10 times out of 10, I think. Sasuke just has no counterattack potential. GG is called. GT Kung takes the blades out. On the right side of the Golden Wall, as the pink toss, is Kandrew. Down the left, as the orange Zerg. The blades of Bren, it's GT Kung. Blades a single game away from claiming victory. Oh wait, no they aren't. What am I talking about? It's best of 7, right? Sorry, it's been a week. It's been a week. It's been a match. Kung going pool first. Into hatch. Hopefully Kandrew scouts up the ramp. Sees what's going on. Okay, moves up. He will scout the pool first, but there's already Lings in production. Well, as that 13 Overlord, 1 Ling splits off to take out the probe. It's not going to be too successful. Once it gets off creep, it takes forever to connect a hit with the probe, as you can see. Oh! Andrew's just kind of letting it die, though. Okay, there he goes. He shifts, clicks, sit. Zealot should be out in the wall in time. But this isn't a full block. Okay, here it is with the probe, but the probe's going to be a weak spot. Kung is building drones, so it looks like he wants to macro out of this. The probe will die. The Zealot will get surrounded. There are enough Lings here to get the kill. This is a nice start for Kung. Kandrew pulls a ton of probes to get the kills here. I don't know that that was necessary. The Adept would have been out in time to save the pylon. But, Kung is going to commit another couple Lings here. However, I think it's a little bit too late for them to get more damage done. They shouldn't get the kill on this Adept. With the probe helping. Ah, you know what? It's gonna be close. The probe decided to stop helping! Kung gets the Adept, but the Adept gets the Ling. It's a double kill. Kung just being, like, kind of conservative in the aggression. Only making a couple pairs of Lings at the time. Had he Ling flooded, he would have outright won the game, but he's already dealt significant damage to the Protoss. Kandrew still sitting on 1 gateway, over 3 minutes into this game. It's going to drop a Robo now, but I think this is a little bit late. His Adept finally going out to do some damage. It's going to take a couple taps on the hull here before cleaning up the Zerglings. Kung is going to want to get that Queen up to the top of the ramp. He does. Probably going to want 4 more Lings. He's going to go with 6, which is super safe against this. About halfway done. They should be popping about 3 seconds after the shade finishes. Oh! Is he going to save the drone? It's going to be close. The Lings pop out. Okay. 1 drone kill. Some delayed mining time for the Adept. Kandrew never quit worker production, so he's actually going to be ahead 8 workers. However, a lot of it's oversaturation on the main right now. One of them long distance mining. And this is still not a great wall from Kandrew. It's gonna get out a Warp Prism. Kung sends out another couple Lings. Still down 7 workers. Sentry drop to kill the Overlord. Might get overrun by Zerglings here. Kandrew doesn't exactly want to use Force Fields to shut down 4 Lings. So he's going to back off. The Overlord's saved for now. Kung probably going to scout back here to see if the Protoss takes the back third. Oh. Kandrew's going to drop on the other side of the wall, prevent that from happening. Kung now down 11 workers. He's going for Roaches. Two Immortals will be out on the field before this little bit of aggression from Kung hits. 3 Ravagers morphing in. Other Roach pops. Kandrew doesn't have his Immortals in this Warp Prism. It's just a Stalker and a couple Sentries. Queens are going to move down the ramp. Kung sees the contents of the Prism. He should lose this Overlord. Not quite going to supply block him. A lot of Lings coming out at home to defend. These Ravagers might have a tough time breaking through. Okay. Kandrew avoids the bio, although I don't know that he was actually microing there. There is a full energy shield battery back here. A couple of the bios do connect. Yeah, Kandrew's gonna hold here, and Kung, despite taking a pretty heavy early lead, hasn't dropped to third, and is now down 13 workers. It's gonna take the gold. I like the boldness of this. Kandrew drops in the main. He gets a Force Field on the ramp. It's not going to be too effective damage-wise, as the Lings are able to respond, but still on such a low worker count going into the mid-game. Andrew going for a push, though. He might not have enough to break this army. He has to wait for another warp in, at least. Corrosive Bile is going to negate the Sentry Force Fields. 3 Stalkers. He's waiting for Blink to finish. 10 seconds left. Okay, maybe he's not waiting for Blink to finish. He's going to engage before then. Kung doesn't bile the Force Fields. I think he bought out too many units there. And the Protoss is going to pick off the Zerg third. Down it goes. Kung holds at the top of the ramp. A lot of biles connected with those Immortals. If he right-clicks them, a lot of the meat and bones of this army are going to fall. Okay, 2 Immortals down. The Sentries are falling as well. This is a great hold from Kung on so little resources. That said, Kandrew has taken the back third, so he's going to be able to replenish his forces. Kung getting out 6 more Roaches. Roach speed going to finish up as well. But, again, this Zerg economy is so bad right now. Kandrew swings into the main of Kung as Kung goes for a counter push. Blink Stalkers and an Immortal at the top of the ramp, with a full wall off and 2 shield batteries to anchor everything. GT Kong turns around. 4 drones have fallen. Andrew pulls back the Warp Prism. Ooh. Main Queen gets picked off. GT Kong tries to retake the gold. Andrew blinks out. Kong groups up his forces. Andrew moves out Stalkers, but he actually doesn't have the numbers to overrun this. He's got to get back to the wall quick. He'd get kills on a lot of the lanes, but instead of going for the wall and blinking back behind the defenses, he's continuing to kite Kung here. Kung drops Biles to zone out his opponent, but there are 3 Immortals on the wall, so Kung isn't exactly going to be able to break in either. Prism brings 1 Immortal out of the wall, the rest are kind of just stuck walking into a gateway. Kung picks off the outside defenders. Bile takes down... nope, the Stalker was narrowly saved before the 3rd Bile could connect. Kung's gonna have to back off. It's going for some more lings. Drones transferring to the gold base. Andrew, by all rights, should be winning this game, but Kung has done an impressive lot with his minuscule economy. Due mostly to Andrew overextending. Kung loses a few Ravagers. He cannot afford to replace these. He's still not increasing the drone count. 22 workers. 12 minutes into the game. No Queen at the 3rd to inject. He's just now remaking the Queen in the main. Andrew, floating a ton of minerals. Negating some of his economic lead. Here we go. Kung gets a good surround with the lings. A huge blink back from Andrew. Some Stalkers go down right away. He's busy in the back microing. Kung traded out pretty well so far. Just losing Zerglings, which he kind of can afford to replace with the gold base. But now Andrew has gotten DTs. Kung does not have an Overseer. And he's going to lose at least some units before he can get one out. No! 5 drones go down! Gold base down to below half health. There's the Overseer finishing up. That water sounds kind of gross. Ew. Ew. Listen to that. All squelchy. Okay, Kung's going on the attack once again. Oh, the Colossi gets a ton of lings, and that's going to destroy the meat shields of Kung's army. Andrew being a little bit too defensive, I think. He can just A-move into this and win. And that conservatism means he loses a lot of high-value robo units. He does still have enough Blink Stalkers to take this down, though. GG is called. Kandrew evens up. In the top right corner of Everdream. Up second in the all kill for the Blades of Ren. It's a Teal Toss Darkblade. And in the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it's Kandrew playing for Half-Baked. Yeah. Ah. Oh no. What did I hit? There we go. So, nope, bad user interface. Darkblade, gonna try to put up a fight. Score is 2-2. Kung and Kira falling, but Kung getting a victory over Sauce King. Or excuse me, Darkblade falling in game number 1. Kira taking a win over Lock in game number 2. Kung taking a game over Sauce King in game number 3. And Kung falling to Kandrew, game number 4. Darkblade gets a full scout. Kandrew drops the second Nexus just as the probe leaves. Darkblade opening double Stalker. As noted before, this is a rematch from game number 1. Kandrew took their first encounter. Kandrew, with this earlier Nexus timing, is going to be a little bit late in his first 2 Stalkers. That means Darkblade is going to have 4 out on the map soon. Scouting around. Double Sentry after this for Kandrew. Darkblade drops a Proxy Pylon. It's going up to 6 Stalker. Alright. I'm intrigued. Twilight Council going down for Kandrew. Darkblade is almost certainly going to attack. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point. Warp Gate is finished, so he's going to be able to reinforce here. It's going to be a Dark Shrine play from Kandrew. That's going to make this a difficult hold at the front. The Dark Shrine being proxied as well. However, these Stalkers are going to power through that shield battery energy, target firing 1 unit at a time. 2 of them are derping out behind the force fields. Boys are pulled to hold these guys off. Kandrew has less than 50% health on that Dark Shrine so far. Darkblade is not relenting on the pressure. The pylon will get picked off. Sentries just tickling the Stalkers of Darkblade. Darkblade pushes up the ramp. The boys are pulled once again for Kandrew. He can afford to take like 5 more probe losses. Darkblade getting out in the Mortal back home. The Dark Shrine is like 80% done though. Did Kandrew buy himself enough time? There is no Observer with this army. 2 Adepts make it into the main. They are focusing the Stalker as opposed to the probes though. Darkblade has the units of Kandrew in a corner. Stalker gets picked off. The Dark Shrine has finished for Kandrew. But he doesn't warp in DTs, he warped in Sentries! Why wouldn't you warp in the DTs? Darkblade's going to be allowed to get more damage done. He chooses not to, though. He's going to get a couple of depths. Did Kandrew forget about the Dark Shrine? What's going on here? Okay. There's 2 DTs warping in at the proxy. They're going to go across the map and try to wreck face. But there is going to be an observer back out back at home for Darkblade. The Adept shade up the ramp. Five, 6, 7 more probes go down. Darkblade with a 13-14 worker lead. He sees the DT shade. Observer's gonna chase the one in the main. Kandrew finally starting to even up the worker count a little bit. 1 DT falls. Second DT escapes alive. 10 worker losses for Darkblade, but he's still on double the economy of Kandrew here. Darkblade with a very nice push. Kandrew shades out with a couple of depths. He's looking to get some damage done. They did nick the vision circle of the pylon, so Darkblade, if he was paying attention to his minimap, knows there's a couple of units headed his way. He now has a +1 weapons advantage, and he's going to have it for a very, very long time. Kandrew getting Blink out onto the field, Darkblade going into charge first from the Twilight Council. Cannon gonna help soften up these Adepts before they can get too many kills. 4 probes in all do get picked off, though. Kandrew does have that Dark Shrine still operational, so he has an easy path into Archons if he wants them to help deal with these charge lots, get that splash damage out onto the field. Kandrew's gonna push out with some Blink Stalkers. Darkblade has a very formidable defense force here, though. He doesn't have shield batteries, but he does have these 2 Immortals on the field. Charges several seconds away from finishing. There it is, as a matter of fact. Just as this closes in, and once again, he saw these guys advancing with the proxy pylon. They just barely nicked the vision cone. Kandrew hallucinates a Phoenix to scout into Darkblade's base. Both players rushing back to Kandrew's side of the map. Kandrew makes a play for a third, but he is down 19 army supply right now. He does have 3 fully operational shield batteries, but it looks like he's going to fight out of range of them. It's going to allow some hull damage to go down on these Stalkers. Not too much, though, but shield battery energy is beginning to dissipate under the onslaught of these charge lots and the +1 attack of Darkblade. Weapons upgrades have evened out on both sides, but these charge lots are making great use of that. However, the units of Darkblade aren't target firing. They're derping into the assimilator. He really needs to take out the combat units of Kandrew if he wants to push in here. He's going to recall for some reason. Okay. Was a DT in the mix here for Kandrew, but little confused why there was a total retreat from Darkblade. Darkblade getting out of Prism, +2 weapons finishing now. Again, it's going to be a very long time before Kandrew can match this firepower. 17 army supply to 37, and there's also army supply value here, right? There's 2 Immortals on the field for Darkblade, which are going to trade very well against these Stalkers. Some of the supply and DTs that are split off for Kandrew, they can certainly pay their way, but there's cannons in each of the mineral lines that are going to help give Darkblade time to react to this, and of course, cause some damage themselves against the Dark Templar. Andrew did get this third up. He is ahead 19 workers right now. Darkblade needs to push out. Oh, one of the DTs hits the third of Darkblade. Darkblade just going to cancel it. DT going after the pylon instead of the mineral line, and Darkblade is doing what I like to call Dunkirking it. Dunkirking it is where you have every advantage to kill your opponent, but you just kind of sit there, right? You just kind of let them do what they want. 3 probes do get picked off by that DT, all of them gas miners. Darkblade doesn't replace them. He is a little bit supply blocked. He's going to go for the push, finally. Does have overwhelming numbers and an upgrade advantage. These shield batteries are going to run out of energy very quickly. In fact, the front one's out, the back one's out, and it's just raw force versus raw force. Darkblade pushes in. DTs are warped in. Is there an obs with this army? There is not! Darkblade backs up. He's going to round on the third. Again, no observer with this army. So his units are going to get picked off one by one. He is able to get a kill on the third, which is quite nice. And he's going to recall the bulk of his army. One stalker going to walk home on its own. He eats a couple losses in the retreat, though. He still maintains the upgrade lead. Still maintains the army supply lead. But this worker supply lead absolutely out of control here for Kandrew. Darkblade still going to be behind in Nexi, even if he drops a third now. A DT sitting out here is kind of spawn camping the third. Darkblade, once again, not bringing an observer with his army. He got another one out at home. Okay, this one's rallied forward. It's going to take a while to get here, though. There it is. Darkblade, uniting his forces, waiting for +3 weapons. This +3 upgrade is going to be devastating to the forces of Kandrew. Kandrew lost the shield batteries as well. Here we go. Charge lots of Kandrew are bleeding out. One of the Archons has fallen. It's just a couple stalkers back here behind this front line. One of the Archons goes down, the Immortal gets picked off. This time, Darkblade does have his Observer surviving. All the Zealots go down. Darkblade pushing in. Somehow, Kandrew has held. Darkblade not giving up the attack yet, but he's going to in a second here. Darkblade taps out. GG. Kandrew. In the bottom left corner of Zen, as the pink Protoss from Born Gosu, and also half-baked, it's Kandrew. And in the top right, as the red Protoss, last in the lineup for the Blades of Ren, is Kira. The score is 3-2. Kira has to win the next 2 games for the Blades to take the win. 2 probes are heading out onto the map. I think you guys know what that means. Forge is dropped here for Kira. He is going for the cannon rush. Kandrew better be on his toes with how to defend this. Kira's cannon rush is very strong. He's immediately going to tag the first probe. Kandrew with a defensive forge. Both these forges are going to finish up around the same time. Goes for the full wall off. First pylon drop for Kira. It's going to get surrounded by probes and picked off. Kira cancels. Behind this, Kira has gone for gateway. Kandrew also going for a gateway. Kira loses the probe. Kandrew also going to lose a scouting probe. Kira drops a proxy pylon. This is a neat transition. Or a red toss. It's going to be a proxy Twilight, and that means proxy DT from Kira. Now, Kandrew already has a forge. He can drop a cannon if he needs to. Not the most efficient form of detection, but he's going to get a robo up too, so he's going to be able to have an ops as well. Twilight's almost finished. Both players halting probe production, 23 workers. There's the Dark Shrine. Kandrew moves out with an Adept. There is no wall off here. There's going to be a Stalker in the mineral line, but this Adept can trade out for probes if it wants to. It's going to take time for the Stalker to kill that Adept, so... Kira finishing up Warp Gate. His opponent doing likewise. It's going to be a Prism first out of the Robo from Kandrew. Dark Shrine halfway done. Kira. 4 probes go down before this is finished off. It's going to put Kandrew with several worker advantage. Continuing to warp in at the front and gearing up for what looks like it's going to be one Immortal, a bunch of gateway units. DTs are here though for Kira. Kandrew has an Observer already halfway finished. His army is moving out onto the map. He is paying attention to this gateway right now. Okay. Just gonna warp in a single Stalker, sit here with the Observer. That's not gonna be enough to hold this. The Stalker is going to get absolutely wrecked. Down it goes. Probes are fighting DTs. That's not gonna go well for them. 6 probes are down. Kandrew pretty all in here. Just 2 Stalkers to hold down the fort here for Kira though. 1 Pylon going to depower both gateways. Oh! He didn't go for the Pylon snipe! Kira pushes down the ramp, but his Stalker is trapped on the high ground thanks to the Force Field. Kira trades out every probe. But he's actually trading pretty evenly here. Kandrew taking the Walk of Shame back home. Does have energy on the Nexus now. Okay. He Chrono Boosts out a probe instead of recalling. Sentry and a Zealot guarding the proxy. And Kira has actually been left with 6 probes back at home. That means he's mining. His opponent, not so much. Oh my god! Kandrew doesn't have enough money to build a Nexus! He can no longer mine. Both DTs escape. Kira. With DTs in the main, Stalkers, Zealots. He's gonna morph in an Archon. Kandrew is being revealed. Kira pulls back home the probe and the 2 units that were defending the proxy. Kandrew has pulled the boys. A Prism. An Immortal. 5 Stalkers, 6 probes, and 2 Sentries. Versus 5 Stalkers, a Sentry, an Archon, 5 Zealots, and 9 probes. Remember, Kira is still mining, can still make reinforcements. Kandrew needs to launch a Blitzkrieg. Kira gets another Stalker. It's a lot of energy on these sentries. And this Immortal is going to make or break this! Nice Force Field from Kira. Cuts off one of the sentries, but it is saved by the Prism. And the sentry's at full energy now. Stalker gets cut off! The Prism is not in time. Goes down. Shields are off the Prism. A little bit of hull damage. Another tremendous force field here. Another Stalker falls. The Immortal absorbing a lot of damage, but the Guardian Shell is down. Both sentries fall. Kira holds the high ground. GG is called. Kira evens up the score in the top right corner. Or in the top middle of Purity and Industry. As the purple Protoss, it's Kira. And on the right side, as the orange Terran, is Lock. The score is 3-3. The winner of this game... This is the longest best of 7 to have ever occurred. Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's...
Game resumed.
Alright, Kira's sending out the boys. Pylon behind the mineral line. There's the forge. It's been dropped. Kira sends out the double probe. Kira going for the cannon rush, and it's real this time. The last time these two played, it was a fake cannon rush. This time Kira drops double pylon, and Lock does not appear to be taking it too seriously. The cannon's dropped. Lock can see this from the high ground. He needs to pull the boys to deal with this. He's chasing around the probe in the main, but nothing's stopping what's going on in the natural. 2 cannons drop for Kira, and 2 cannons will finish for Kira. Marine or no. This is going to be very hard for Lock to dislodge. The Marine can hit one of the pylons up here, but these cannons are going to make short work of everything else that's pulled to help. Oh! Lock does block cannon from going down in the main. But in just a matter of moments, the supply depot will fall, and this probe will break in and drop a cannon. Oh my god, he lost the Marine! Another Marine is going to pop soon. Bunker being built, but I think it might be too late already. Barracks under fire. It needs to lift up after it builds this Marine. Or even before it builds this Marine. And, reposition itself. Okay, it lifts up. A CV goes down. Bunker gets canceled. The barracks is on fire. He needs to repair the barracks. I mean, repairing the bunker's nice, but repair the barracks. Oh no! 23, 20, 15, 10. 3, 2, 1, the barracks is gone! Lock cannot produce units anymore. Kira getting up more cannons. Lock building a starport in the back of his base. He did proxy a factory out here. So, starport requires factory, it does not require a barracks. Lock going for the Hellion into the main of Kira. Kira does not have any units at home, so he's going to have to fight this with probes, it looks like. He's going to drop a second Nexus, and actually, That's a hero probe. His life was not sacrificed in vain. That gave Kira time to react and time to throw down a cannon. Oh, some shots go off on the Hellion. In the meantime, the CC is under siege. I think Lock needs to, like, pack up and head to the island or something. I don't know what you do at this point. The CC is about to be on fire. Pull some SCVs to repair. In the meantime, 2 Hellions now going to town at the probe line. A recall on a Zealot from Kira. Still going to be a difficult hold. Photon Cannon will limit the mobility of these Hellions, but Lock is going to burn down the Zealot. Okay, Cannon in the middle of the mineral line. Once this finishes, the Hellions' reign of terror will be over. Kira can save all of the probes, but they aren't going to be mining. Lock locked into a stalemate with these cannons as he repairs and mines. But a Zealot now entering the mineral line, changing the equation a little bit. The 2 remaining Marines are going to zone this out for now. Oh, he abandons the repair on the orbital. He's forced to lift up. No mining happening for Lock. He does have 400 in the bank. He's getting out a Cyclone now. Was able to stop the cannon from finishing. Cybercore going down for Kira. Lock sending in the Cyclone. Lock also building a gas. He's long distance mining to the CC. One of the 2 Marines has died. The Cyclone's slowly burning down the Nexus. I mean, I guess the Hellions are helping as well, but Kira trying to make a play for his Stalker. He needs to mine gas to make that happen, though. Truly incredible. The long-distance mule mining. Lock getting up a new barracks, a fresh barracks. It's going to be a Zealot, a Probe, and a Stalker going in on the attack now. Again, just a single Marine and the SCVs themselves here to fight. The Probe goes down, the Zealot goes down. 4 more Probes go down. Back at home for Kira. He's not mining. Half the health gone off the Nexus. Kira does not have money to make another one. Oh, with this lock on, the Nexus is going to fall here. Lock getting out a medevac, as well as another Marine. He has a lot of minerals in the bank. Not a lot of gas. The mule gets picked off. And he has this mech army out on the map as well. The pylon is going to go down, unpowering the cannon and leaving these probes to be slaughtered. Kira is building 1 Zealot. He can afford 1 more. Kira calls GG, well played. Lock takes the series 4-3 in favor